All right, good morning. It is Hug Your Cat Day. And yesterday I talked about our cat on the show and how she is bringing in lizards. Now that it's spring, she's bringing in a bunch of animals, and not animals, but just lizards, basically. And apparently she listens to the show because she said, oh, you think that's something? Hold my beer, buddy boy. We'll see what we can do. So yesterday was quite the adventure with the cat. And my son said, you know why she brings stuff in the house? Because she thinks we're horrible hunters. Like, we can't provide anything. And that might mean maybe we need to check her food level. Oh, here we go. And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, May 30th, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:14 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Colfax. Currently, it is 57 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 84 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now, as we do, to the Fox Business Report. Also, allergies today. Woo. But either way, good morning. All right, we're going to talk about the Wolf Wine and Dine event. Placer SPCA presents Wolf Wine and Dine Dog-Friendly Food and Wine Festival. It's today, Thursday, May 30th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. It's going to be at the Vernon Street Town Square in Roseville. There's going to be food, wine, beer, spirits, dog-friendly raffle. It's dog-friendly. There's a raffle. Ticket admissions include unlimited tastings from some of the area's most popular wineries, breweries, and restaurants. Grab your pup and your pals and join us for a special evening supporting Placer County's homeless companion animals. Tickets, $35 general admission, $45 VIP early admission at 6 p.m. Prices go up at the door. Human guests must be 21 plus. There's going to be Furbulous drinks, possum small bites.
Please consider adopting today. It takes some time to learn more about American.
Okay.
Catch Sinatra and Friends Saturdays and Sundays right here, 104.5 FM, AM 950 KAHI.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do for this?
FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
16 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:16 a.m. Hey, let's talk about an event for the calendar today. This is actually happening today. It's the Wolf Wine and Dine presented by Placer SPCA. It is a dog-friendly food and wine festival that is happening tonight from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Vernon Street Town Square in Roseville. Join us for Wolf Wine and Dine. This fun, pet-friendly evening takes place at Roseville's Vernon Street Town Square. Ticket admission includes unlimited tastings from some of the area's most popular wineries, breweries, and restaurants. Grab your pup and your pals and join us for a special evening supporting Placer County's homeless companion animals. Again, this is Placer SPCA. Our $35 general admission VIP. That means early admission at 6 p.m. tonight. Prices go up at the door. Human guests must be 21 or older. Now, I love the puns here. I love what they did with the puns. There's Furbulous drinks, possum small bites. Oh, my goodness gracious. Old Town Pizza is going to be there. You got me there. Randy Peters Catering, among other things. Costco, Rayleigh's, Dos Coyotes. So many sponsors there that are going to be there. It's a fantastic place. Crooked Lane's going to be there. Monk's Cellar, a ton of other, just to name a few. My goodness gracious. It's going to be a fantastic time. Again, it's the Wolf, WOOF, Wine and Dine. That's happening today, May 30th. 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Vernon Street Town Square in Roseville. Placer SPCA presents Wolf Wine and Dine. Tickets $35. You can find out more at placerspca.org. That's placerspca.org. More after this.
Jake. No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
18 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:18 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, sports ball. That's right. We're going to have all the scores for you, local sports as well. And then meteorologist Tim Root will chime in with the weather. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
The Thursday morning on the 30th day of May, AFM continues. And France's president has joined the head of NATO in pushing for a policy shift that could change the complexion of the war in Ukraine, allowing Kyiv to hit military bases inside Russia with sophisticated long-range weapons, allowing Western partners. Macron's remarks came a day after NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg urged the alliance's members to lift some of the restrictions on Ukraine's use of Western weapons.
We are working with NATO allies, many of them are also, of course, EU members, on stepping up the delivery of ammunition, air defense systems. We have seen some progress, but more progress. More air defense systems are urgently needed. The most heavy fighting is now taking place in the region.
What happened here?
Close to the Ukrainian-Russian border. It will be very hard and difficult for the Ukrainians to defend themselves if they cannot hit military targets just from the other side of the border.
Speaking Wednesday on a visit to Moldova, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken underlined that while
Potters take 2 out of 3 from Novato to open the season. Oh, all right.
It will continue providing
Let's see. Moving up. Placer assistant Mulvihill. Named head coach at Yuba College. Placer High School assistant football coach Tim Mulvihill was named head coach of Yuba College on Sunday. Mulvihill, a Del Oro alum, has spent time coaching at numerous high schools and all levels of college football. Mulvihill has nearly 2 decades of coaching experience and said he's excited for the opportunity to take over the 49ers, but knows it will be an uphill battle. Yuba has gone 1-19 over the last 2 seasons, and while there will be plenty of roster turnover and an entirely new coaching staff, he plans to hit the ground running.
Components are still getting into Russia.
Yeah, I guess that's a good story.
The President's point man on sanctions.
Sidecar? What?
My trip confirms that we need to do more to make sure.
Fans welcome the Extreme Sidecars to an already exciting Fast Fridays motorcycle speedway program on May 24th, and we're treated to an amazing night of racing. 5 teams of riders with ice water running in their veins race their custom 1,000cc, holy cow, 3-wheeled machines on the tricky dirt oval at the Gold Country Fairgrounds. Cheered on and enthusiastically welcomed by their loyal Fast Friday fans, the Extreme Sidecars put on a great show of gutsy speedway racing. Potters take 2 out of 3 from Novato to open the season. The collegiate summer baseball season has officially arrived in Placer County as the Lincoln Potters return to the historic McBean Stadium for their 8th season. This year marks a new era with the Potters joining the Pacific Empire League. The Potters are also under new leadership with former Major League leader Ty Robertson taking over as manager. Robertson didn't have to wait long to pick up his first win as the Potters defeated the Novato Knicks 6-2 on opening night Friday in front of a sold-out crowd.
Against this brutal aggression of Russia. In this agreement, we focus on what your military needs to defend its population. These F-16 jets will be provided to Ukraine as soon as possible. Our aim is to be able to provide first.
All right, let's do that one.
Before the end of this year.
Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna
The use of
do.
Western-supplied long-range weapons by Ukraine to hit Russian territory could bring a dangerous escalation of the war. Boeing has set its federal regulators today.
And let's find another. Oh no! Somebody threw away my article. What the heck? Oh, okay. Summer concert series. Green grass snakes with feel good oldies. All right. That's all right. When is that?
Shortcomings in the aircraft maker's safety culture.
The Gold Country.
Criminal charges against professional golfer Scotty Scheffler have been dismissed, ending a legal saga that began with images of the world's top golfer being arrested and handcuffed in Louisville during the PGA Championship.
Dude, the Gold Rush Country Music Festival, June 15th and 16th. Okay, that's the next one that we'll do. Gold Rush Country Music Festival.
Prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler. Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding. Based upon the totality of the evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler. Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote,
Headlines
a
and a
big
lie?
misunderstanding, close quote, is corroborated by the evidence. The evidence we reviewed supports the conclusion that Detective Gillis was concerned for police safety at the scene when he initiated contact with Mr. Scheffler. However, Mr. Scheffler's actions and the evidence surrounding their exchange during this misunderstanding do not satisfy the elements of any criminal offenses.
The prosecutor said Scheffler's explanation that he had a misunderstanding with police directing traffic was corroborated by evidence. Steve Ramines blasted the police in a tense exchange with the reporter.
So the statements that Scotty made after the arrest don't seem to fully align with what you're saying right now. He admits that he got impatient and went too far.
No, here's what happened: is he is being interrogated after the most stressful situation of his life, right? And the officer is actually asking him leading questions and trying to get him to agree with them. Okay? And that's why you don't talk to the police, because they are going to try to put words in your mouth.
But
And that's exactly what they did.
But that was after the Miranda right. He did not.
Of course.
Some people develop a hole in their bucket. This means no matter how much attention they get, it's not enough. Anytime it goes in their bucket, but it slips away.
However, they are trying to get him to confess to something.
There's a hole in my bucket. So who wrote the song "Hole in My Bucket"?
Scheffler had been charged with
My bucket's got a hole in it.
a police officer with his vehicle along with 3 misdemeanors. The arresting officer, Detective Brian Gillis, was outside the gate of Valhalla Golf Course directing traffic after a pedestrian death when he encountered Scheffler. Gillis said in a police report that Scheffler refused to comply and accelerated forward, dragging Gillis to the ground. Gillis said his uniform pants were damaged in the fall and he was taken to the hospital for injuries. He's been disciplined for not activating his body-worn camera during the arrest.
It ain't got no man, 'cause my bucket's got a hole in it, got a hole in it. I can't find no beer. Well, I went up on the mountain, 'cause my bucket's got a hole in it. I'm waiting for a woman. It ain't got no man, 'cause my bucket's got a hole in it. Well, there ain't no use of me working so hard. Because my bucket's got a hole up on the mountain.
All right. Well, there's a song called "My Bucket's Got a Hole in It." See if we got.
Boy, acres and acres of Tweety Bird, and it's mine, all mine.
I thought I saw a itty bitty putty cat. No more classes, no more books, no more teachers, dirty. What's
going on here?
Hold on here, boy. I say.
here? The theory. Where's the theory?
Buster, it may come as a complete surprise to you to find that this
is an animated cartoon. And that in animated cartoons, they have scenery. And in all the years of
I claim this planet in the name of Mars. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, that's me.
for national defense.
Why, you dirty, crossing. Food hoarder! She's a food hoarder! Food hoarder! For crying out, pizzack, mother! Be careful, my corn!
Patience, little one. Your dinner will soon be here. A nice, tender little rabbit. Is there a doctor in the house?
Bugs.
That's what we should use. But there are exceptions to the rule. Many high-end or luxury vehicles offer premium or higher octane fuel. And the reason for this is not just due to the octane rating. There are better fuel system cleaners in premium fuels. Gasoline companies know too that vehicles that run on premium won't perform as well with carbon deposits. So they pack more cleaning power into their premium fuels than their regular blend. If you rotate your fuel choices around, say, every third tankful, you may find better performance and miles per gallon.
All right.
Because you are cleaning
Who are we gonna shout
and
out?
fuel system while you drive. Just don't tell the mechanic you're trying to replace them anytime soon.
Forest Hill.
With your automotive prescription, I'm Juan Anini in the car. See you next week.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, May 30th. It is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:30 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Forest Hill. Currently, it is 58 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 82 degrees. All right, let's get into it. It is time for the sports ball scores updates. Let's go over to the NBA. Well, there's no game yesterday. The Mavericks and the Timberwolves will play today, so we'll see how that series goes. Right now, Dallas leads that series, and that's going to be wrapping up here. And then the finals, the NBA finals, will be starting shortly. Heading over to the MLB, A's versus the Rays. Tampa Bay just squeak out a win there on top there, 4-3. A's will wrap up that series with Tampa Bay today. You can catch that here on KAHI. Ooh, good gracious. This is a morning game today. Well, I guess because they're on the East Coast. Start time, radio start time is 9:30 a.m. So that'll be coming up shortly after this show. First pitch is at 10:10 a.m. So A's on KAHI today, 9:30. We've got a morning game here, and that will be first pitch is at 10:10. So catch all of that action here on KAHI. Nationals versus the Braves. Nationals on top there, 7-2. Padres versus the Marlins. Marlins win that one 9-1. Dodgers versus the Mets. Oh. Dodgers win that one 10-3. Giants versus the Phillies. Oh. Phillies won that one 6-1. How about this? Pirates versus the Tigers. Nobody cares, but Pirates win that one 10-2. D-backs versus the Rangers. Rangers on top there 6-1. Cardinals versus the Reds. Cards on top there 5-3. Going locally here, got the Auburn Journal in my hot little hands. Potters, the Lincoln Potters, the collegiate summer baseball season has officially arrived in Placer County as the Lincoln Potters return to the historic McBean Stadium for their 8th season. This year marks a new era with the Potters joining the Pacific Empire League. The Potters are also under new leadership with a former major leaguer, Ty Robertson, taking over as manager. Robertson didn't have to wait long to pick up his first win as the Potters defeated the Novato Knicks 6-2 on opening night on Friday in front of a sold-out crowd. So yeah, baseball in full effect. Congrats to the Lincoln Potters on their first win. Back with your KAHI weather right after this. Brought to you by Pioneer Community Energy.
Thursday morning forecast in mostly sunny skies today. High temperature very close to 90.
Ooh, 90.
Mostly clear skies. Light breeze is up there tonight. Friday mostly sunny around 90. Southwest wind about 10 miles per hour. A little bit cooler for the weekend. Sunny skies.
highs in the mid to upper 80s Saturday and Sunday. It's a year on September from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
You can see them at night. Every day they steal from you.
Any device with
Digital display.
light or sound uses energy. They make only two of the drops of water in a bucket.
It adds up and you pay.
Stop energy bill. Computers are not in use. Use a power strip for charging and turn the strip off and done. Stop energy thieves and save. Brought to you
By Pioneer Community Energy.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to have your KAHI news. We'll also have your California Ag Report. Later next hour, we're going to have 3 headlines and a lie. That's right. It's Thursday. We're going to do 3 headlines and a lie. I'll give you 4 headlines. 3 of them are actually true. 1 of them is made up. We'll see which one that is. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit. All right, let's practice the news here. Placer County selects Daniel Chatney as CEO. This is from the Auburn Journal. The Placer County Board of Supervisors began last Tuesday's meeting in closed session where it unanimously voted to appoint Daniel Chatney as the new county executive officer. During the closed session report, Placer County Council Karen Schwab confirmed the board's vote authorizes council to negotiate a contract with Chatney. The selection of Chatney follows the retirement of former CEO Jane Christensen, which was effective May 4th. Chatney has been serving as acting CEO since February 27th during Christensen's leave of absence. Chatney joined Placer County in 2019 as the Finance and Budget Operations Manager and holds a bachelor's degree from Sacramento State University and a master's degree in Public Administration from Golden State University. According to Schwab, the contract will return for the board's consideration on Tuesday. That was this week. I need to edit that. According to Schwab, the contract
Even those kind of operations can have terrible, horrific, unintended consequences. It has to pass.
Actually, we'll just delete that whole thing because that's kind of out of its date. So we're past that.
Further incremental gains against Hamas, but gains that may not be durable.
There we go. All right. Quote, I want to say on behalf of the Board of Supervisors and myself, congratulations, Daniel, unquote, Schwab stated last Tuesday. Stated last Tuesday. Reno Air Race is moving to Roswell, New Mexico. This is from Fox 40 News. The Reno Air Racing Association, or RARA, officially announced that Roswell, New Mexico will be the home of the National Championship Air Races, or NCAR, according to a news release from the association on Thursday. Since 2023, RARA has been considering six cities, including Buckeye, Arizona, Thermal, California, Wendover, Utah, Casper, Wyoming, Pueblo, Colorado, and Roswell, New Mexico to relocate the NCAR. With the cross-state move, the NCAR will continue to feature 7 classes of racing, along with static displays and military demonstrations, according to the RARA. Quote, the event landing in Roswell is a testament to the collaboration and support of the region, who have worked for the past year to make this dream a reality, unquote. Mike Espiritu, president and CEO of the Roswell Chaves County Economic Development Corporation, said, quote, we are confident that we can help the event grow and expand for many years to come, unquote. The NCAR will be held at the Roswell Air Center, which served as a former Army and Air Force base, and is now one of the largest commercial aviation centers in the Southwest. As the NCAR departs for New Mexico, the 2024 Reno Air Show will be held at the Reno Stead Airport for the 60th year after kicking off in 1964. Back with more news after this. Continuing now with your KAHI News from the Morning Brew, here's a stat for you. Feeling lonely? Well, you can take comfort in knowing you're not alone, according to the Wall Street Journal's recent look at worker loneliness. A recent survey of 10,000 Americans by health insurer, Cigna found that 58% of them called themselves lonely compared to 46% in 2018. And it's costing companies $154 billion a year in absenteeism. The rise in feeling isolated comes as the workplace is changing to include less face-to-face time. In-office workers spend almost 25% of their time in virtual meetings and only 8% in IRL meetings. I wonder if people know what that is. In real life meetings per Cushman and Wakefield's data. Meanwhile, 40% of parents with fully remote jobs said they went days without leaving the house in 2023 in a 2023 survey by Bright Horizons. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. BHP won't continue to pursue its $49 billion bid for fellow mining company Anglo American after the latter refused to extend a deadline for talks. The jury in Donald Trump's hush money case has begun deliberating in the first criminal trial of a former U.S. president. Kentucky prosecutors dropped all charges against golfer Scotty Scheffler, who was arrested on his way to the PGA Championship earlier this month. Quote, obviously, he didn't do anything wrong, unquote, his attorney said. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito rejected calls to recuse himself from cases related to January 6, 2021, the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot following news reports of flags associated with the incident flying outside his home. He said his wife was the one flying, quote, a wide variety of flags, unquote. Tennis fans say Ticketmaster already facing the ire of the DOJ and the Swifties fumbled pre-sales for the US Open tickets. Attention iPhone 7 and 7 Plus users, you have until June 3rd to file your claim to a piece of class action settlement over the phone's audio issues. Payments could be as high as $349 per person. And Washington D.C. won't be pandaless much longer. The National Zoo announced a deal that has been struck to get two new giant pandas from China by the end of the year. And finally, today's word of the day is excrement, meaning feces. Well, that was a crappy way to end this. And that's your KAHI News for this Thursday, May 30th. I'm Chris Quant. Oh, man. Ow. Jeez Louise. All right, we need to get, okay, thank you, Hank Williams. Let's see.
Will be cut by the struggling New York Mets after their reliever threw his cap on the ground and glove into the stands following his ejection Wednesday at Citi Field. Lopez gave up a 2-run homer to Shohei Ohtani late in.
Burning in the mirror.
The call on Spectrum Sports. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza
Boo.
outburst not acceptable. Said it would be handled internally. Lopez expressed no remorse for his display.
Carlos Mendoza said that he understands the emotion, but that particular action of throwing your glove into the stands was unacceptable. Looking back on it, do you regret doing that?
No, I don't regret it. I think I've been looking the worst teammate probably in the whole MLB. So, whatever happened. So, whatever they want to do it. I'll be tomorrow here if they want me, whatever they want to do. So, I'm going to keep doing this thing, so I'm healthy on whatever, I'm ready to, I'm ready to come back tomorrow, and if they want me to be here, so I'll be
I don't think anyone should be there, buddy.
To SNY. Afterward, the Mets began the process of designating Lopez for assignment. They have 7 days to trade or release him or send him outright to the minors if no other team claims him on waivers. Drove in Jonathan Clace for the sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 10th inning, giving the Seattle Mariners a 2-1 victory over the Houston Astros Wednesday night. A game dominated by pitching ended with Crawford lifting a fly ball to deep right that allowed Clace to jog home and give the Mariners wins in their first 3 games of the 4-game series with their AL West rival. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way. You've got AFN.
America's First News.
Matt,
Can you believe
we'll be right
all the
back.
recent violent protests, looting, and destruction? Some areas are considering either defunding.
All right, whatever. Gotta love the fear mongering. Okay, here we go. Let's shout out Lincoln. 92. Mama. And then we'll do the Gold Rush. And that's
Call today and request your free support your local police. JBS USA 1. That's 800 JBS USA. Request your free support your local police info package by calling 800 JBS USA 1.
all right. Here we go. And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, May 30th. It is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 6:45 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Lincoln. Currently 58 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today. Woof. Get the shorts out. It is looking for a high today of 92 degrees. All right, let's talk about another event for the calendar here. Something coming up. If you're a country music fan, maybe you don't even like country music, or maybe you're like, maybe I should start checking out what this country music is all about. Well, maybe if you like this band, we've heard them before, the Ariel Jean Band, you might want to check out the Gold Rush Country Music Festival. That is going to be June 15th and 16th. It's going to be at the Gold Country Fairgrounds here in Auburn. You can find out more at goldrushmusicfestival.com. goldrushmusicfestival.com. It's going to be on Saturday. It's going to be on Sunday. It's going to be bands like Joe Peters, Jake Jacobson, that's a great name, Sophia Clare, Scott and Sabrina, Jennifer Bell, Amanda Sons, Serena Carisi? I think that's right. And then on Sunday, the Ariel Jean Band. Yeah, this band right here. This song has really grown on me. I actually really like this song. So Ariel Jean Band will be there. Buck Ford and Jennifer Grant and more. Again, it's the Gold Rush Country Music Festival happening June 15th and 16th at the Gold Country Fairgrounds. Hey, let's turn it up. Yeah, that's growing on me. I dig that. I dig that. Again, Gold Rush Country Music Festival, June 15th and 16th, Gold Country Fairgrounds. Find out more at goldrushmusicfestival.com. Back with your KAHI News after this.
ABT has been in business since 2001, and we are thrilled to have been voted Auburn's best plumbing company and best heating and cooling company in Auburn Journal's Best of Auburn promotion. We're very proud to have placed as runner-up in electrical category as well. Our technicians are experienced and friendly. If you have
Chatney, Daniel
or maybe your furnace,
Chatney,
give ABT a call. Reach us at 530-230-9004 for excellent service. It really is as easy as ABT.
And here's your KAHI News for Thursday, May 30th. I'm Chris Quant. Placer County selects Daniel Chatney as CEO. This is from the Auburn Journal. The Placer County Board of Supervisors began last Tuesday's meeting in closed session, where it unanimously voted to appoint Daniel Chatney as the new executive officer. During the closed session report, Placer County Council Karen Schwab confirmed the board's vote authorizes council to negotiate a contract with Chatney. The selection of Chatney follows the retirement of former CEO Jane Christensen, which was effective May 4th. Chatney had been serving as acting CEO since February 27th. during Christensen's leave of absence. Chatney joined Placer County in 2019 as the Finance and Budget Operations Manager and holds a bachelor's degree from Sacramento State University and a master's degree in public administration from Golden State University. Quote, I want to say on behalf of the Board of Supervisors and myself, congratulations, Daniel, unquote, Schwab said last Tuesday. Reno Air Races moving to Roswell, New Mexico. This is from Fox 40 News. The Reno Air Racing Association, or RARA, officially announced that Roswell, New Mexico will be the home of the National Championship Air Races, or NCAR, according to a news release from the association on Thursday. Since 2023, RARA has been considering 6 cities, including Buckeye, Arizona, Thermal, California, Wendover, Utah, Casper, Wyoming, Pueblo, Colorado, and Roswell, New Mexico, to relocate the NCAR. With the cross-state move, the NCAR will continue to feature 7 classes of racing, along with static displays and military demonstrations, according to the RARA. Quote, the event landing in Roswell is a testament to the collaboration and support of the region, who have worked for the past year to make this dream a reality, unquote. Mike Espiritu, president and CEO of the Roswell Chaves County Economic Development Corporation, said, quote, we are confident that we can help the event grow and expand for many years to come, unquote. The NCAR will be held at the Roswell Air Center, which served as a former Army and Air Force base and is now one of the largest commercial aviation centers in the Southwest. As the NCAR departs for New Mexico, the 2024 Reno Air Show will be held at the Reno Stead Airport for the 60th year after kicking off in 1964. Back with more news after this.
2023 for many people, and especially small businesses, it was a year to put in your rear view mirror. For it was a time to build relationships, and right now to say thank you for the many businesses that put their trust and faith in our agency. At Homer, we strive to be the very best of what we do, and that means saving you money by working with the brightest and best insurance companies in America. Please, if you haven't called us yet, call today and let us show you why we make a difference every day to small businesses all over the foothills. Bonds, general liability, workman's comp, auto, home, and life. Give us just a few minutes and see the thousands you can save. Call 916-339-7070 and take a walk back in time. We actually answer every call live. That number again is 916-339-7070.
Not able to tune into AM 950 KAHI whenever you want? That's not fair. Have a strict boss that only listens to music and never listens to news? He's not very informed. But that, don't worry. You can get KAHI's up-to-date news information and local advice from our talented KAHI news team anywhere you want now. Follow KAHI on Twitter or like KAHI on Facebook to receive local news updates multiple times a day. You can also download our KAHI radio app at KAHI.com and enjoy the voice of the foothills at AM 950 KAHI at any time, day or night.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, the state of Van Camp right now. Okay, that's enough now. Don't worry about Joe. Okay, he's cured up. Okay.
Oh my God! Way to do some kind of contest at the sound of Van Camp's phlegmy cough. Be the 10th caller.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins.
Weekdays from 1 to 4, Voice of the Foothills, FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Continuing now with your KAHI News from the Morning Brew, here's a stat for you. Feeling lonely? Well, you can take comfort in knowing you're not alone, according to the Wall Street Journal's recent look at worker loneliness. A recent survey of 10,000 Americans by health insurer Cigna found that 58% of them called themselves lonely compared to 46% in 2018. And it's costing companies $154 billion a year in absenteeism. The rise in feeling isolated comes as the workplace is changing to include less face-to-face time. In-office workers spend almost 25% of their time in virtual meetings and only 8% in real-life meetings, per Cushman's and Wakefield's data. Meanwhile, 40% of parents with fully remote jobs said they went days without leaving the house in 2023, in a 2023 survey by Bright Horizons. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. The jury in Donald Trump's hush money case began deliberating in the first criminal trial of a former U.S. president. Kentucky prosecutors dropped all charges against golfer Scotty Scheffler, who was arrested on his way to the PGA Championship earlier this month. Quote, obviously, he didn't do anything wrong, unquote, his attorney said. Supreme Justice Samuel Alito rejected calls to recuse himself from cases related to the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot, following news reports of flags associated with the incident flying outside his homes. He said his wife was the one flying, quote, a wide variety of flags, unquote. Tennis fans say Ticketmaster, already facing the ire of the DOJ and the Swifties, fumbled pre-sales for U.S. Open tickets. Attention iPhone 7 and 7 Plus users, you have until June 3rd to file your claim to a piece of a class action settlement over the phone's audio issues. Payments could be as high as $349 per person. Washington, D.C. won't be panda-less much longer. The National Zoo announced a deal that has been struck to get 2 new giant pandas from China by the end of the year. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is excrement, meaning feces. That was a crappy way to end that. And that is your KAHI News for this Thursday, May 30th. I'm Chris Quant. On now to the California Ag Report.
Today on the Ag Report, shift. Have you taken a dive into the pool of carbon credits marketing? All it takes is a toe dip to realize it's Western in the unregulated type of way. There's a lot going on in what feels like very few.
There's a lots going on.
Same vein that the Biden administration released just this week. New principles for
what do you do with Sunday,
providing what it says are clear incentives and guardrails. Here's a recap of the principles.
Final fear. Well, I'm standing on the floor with a bucket in my hand. I'm waiting for one.
Should prioritize measurable emissions reductions within their own chains. 4. Credit users should publicly disclose the nature of purchased and retired credits. 5. Public claims by credit users should accurately reflect the climate impact of retired credits. 6. Participants should contribute to efforts that improve market integrity. 7. Policymakers and participants should be efficient and seek to lower transaction costs. Want more information? Head to aginfo.net to get the full statement from the White House.
You've probably been told that to reach a millennial farmer, you have to go digits. Facebook, Vimeo, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and online publications. Or maybe a podcast. But which one? Oh, and how receptive is this age group to your sales pitch during non-work social time? Maybe the best place to reach a farmer with a farming solution message is when they are farming. You know, it's easy for us to find them today, as most farmers are behind the wheel or farm equipment. With radio on, listening to this station, the Ag Information Network of the West News. If you'd like to deliver information about your terrific product or service, give us a call and we'll connect you directly with our community of loyal farmer listeners. Reach real farmers right here, right now, as they listen to what is important to their farm operation. They trust us, they'll trust you.
On the Ag Information Network, I am Haley Shipp. Did you ever wonder where we get a word like muckety-muck? How about the whole kit and caboodle? I'm Martha Barnett, along with Grant Barrett.
Each week on The Way with Words, we try to solve linguistic mysteries.
And we invite you to call us with your questions about language. We want to hear from you about words and phrases, regional dialects, grammar, or maybe that weird family expression you grew up with.
So join us on The Way with the Words, Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. here on the Voice of the Foothills, AM 950 KAHI.
Okay.
Like Americans are not sleeping.
I forgot that I can talk and not just talk in my head here, but I could talk to you. And so I'm looking up fun facts for today, and it says on this day in 1539, Hernando de Soto lands in Florida with the hope of finding gold, which all of a sudden sparked a memory in my mind that my history teacher in high school said, "Do you know what DeSoto's claim to fame is? He didn't discover gold, but he did invent a car, and it's a DeSoto car." Oh my gosh. America's First News.
Get all the local
I love this commercial.
Traffic and local events you can handle,
Plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes.
Chris in the morning with Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5
and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early.
Hello, KAHI listeners. This is Ann Hidalgo, your host of Time for Seniors. Used to hearing us at
Ann Hidalgo.
Saturdays, but we
Time for Seniors.
In
fact, that's my sister-in-law.
Senior resource show bringing all the important information concerning seniors.
All right, when this is done, we'll have about 30 seconds.
Hear inspirational stories and laugh at ourselves a little. So tune in Saturdays at noon on FM 104.5 and AM 950. KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
1 minute to the top of the hour here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Chris Quant with you here, holding it down in Studio A. 1 hour down. Coming up in our next hour, we're going to have 3 headlines and a lie. That's right. I'll give you 4 headlines. 3 of them are actually true. It seems like they would be made up, but they are actually true. One of them is a complete lie, completely made up. We will play that game together again later on this hour. And also coming up, today is Hug Your Cat Day. I was just trying to look at my board here, like, what the heck are we going to talk about? Yesterday, I talked about my cat on the air, about how she's bringing lizards into the house now that it's spring. Apparently, she listens to the show because she said, "Hold my beer. I'll show you what I can do." I'll tell you that story coming up here. Pausing now for station identification.
And AM 950 KAHI.
I sound like a radio DJ. And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, May 30th. It is right smack dab at the top of the hour. It is 7 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. How you doing this morning? As we're getting started on, it's starting to warm up out there, gang. At some parts of our area, it's going to hit... it's going to hit in the 90s. I'm not ready for this. Meteorologist Tim Root will join us here in just a little bit to give us a heads up on the weather, and we'll check on that. We'll have all of your news, events for the calendar, all that good stuff. Just trying to settle in here today as we're getting started with the day, and I have a little bit of a hesitation here, because do I tell the story about the cat right now, or do I keep you hanging on pins? No, I'll tell the story about the cat now. So today is Hug Your Cat Day, and I want to do, well, first of all, kitties got claws. So if you're going to hug your cat, you got to make sure that your cat is real receptive to that. But I want to do anything but hug my cat today. And here's why. So yesterday, I just there was something on the show. It sparked a memory and said, hey, our cat, Lacey, now she's an indoor and outdoor cat. She's a great cat. She really is. She's a good cat. She'll snuggle with you when she wants to. It's on her terms, as a lot of cats will be. And I said, it's spring now. She's bringing in lizards into the house. We've got a little pet door, and she'll come in and out of the little pet door. And she apparently says, here's my offering for you today. Here's lizards. And it's been the extent of that. We've had to fish them out and get them out and all that. So apparently Lacey listened to the show yesterday, and she said, oh, really? You like the lizards, huh? Hold my beer. Let me show you what I can do. Yesterday afternoon, I'm in our bedroom, and I hear what I think, we've got a little speaker in there, and I hear what I think is static. Like, is there static coming from that speaker? I was taking a little bit of a nap, and it's in that you're half awake, half asleep moment. I'm like, that doesn't sound like static. What the heck is that? So I sit up, and it's a scratching noise. Like, scratching? What in the world? So there's this little piece of furniture that we have in there that had a blanket over it, and I go to where I hear this sound, and there's a lump underneath the blanket that all of a sudden started to move. And I'm going to tell you, this is a good-sized lump that's underneath this blanket. So I start to go to it. I can't see what it is. I thought, oh, my gosh. She brought in, if this is a rat, did she catch a rat and literally bring a rat inside I don't know where she would find a rat. At first, I panicked and I thought it was one of the rats that we had downstairs, but then I remembered both of the rats have died now. They've passed away. So she didn't get one of the rats that we had as pet rats. So that's taken care of. So I go towards this thing that's underneath the just this lump underneath the blanket. And I go to go towards it. And I'm like, how am I going to get this thing? I don't know. And it jumps down onto the floor. So I hear it actually hit the floor. And it's now behind this piece of furniture and between that piece of furniture and the wall. So I'm like, son of a gun. So I'm trying to think about how am I going to get this thing out? So I kind of look back there and I can kind of see some fur. So I'm like, well, I don't know what that is. So I called my wife and we moved the thing away and it's a squirrel. She brought in a squirrel is what happened. I don't think I've ever seen a squirrel around my house at all. Now I know in our area there's squirrels all around, but she brought in a full-on squirrel into the house, and a wounded squirrel, by the way. And so now it becomes a thing of, okay, how are we going to catch this squirrel? How are we going to get it out of that? So basically, we ended up forming this. We kind of got it to a corner, and thank God, I'll tell you here in a minute. What got the leather type gloves that you get from Home Depot, whatever those thick leather type gloves, the work gloves. So we got that. We kind of corralled it to a corner, and are trying to brush it out from back beneath our headboard, and have made this almost maze of pillows out of our bedroom door, which is kind of near the front of the house, and made this almost maze of pillows to try and corral it out the front door. So our door's open, the front door's open. We're trying to get the animals and the cats and the kids away so it's not spooked and scared. Finally get it to the corner, cannot get it out. So I'm like, all right, that's it. My wife kind of gets them. I reach down, I've got the gloves on, finally grab him, and he's squealing because he's wounded, the poor little guy. And I get him, finally grab a hold of him, take him outside, put him on the front lawn, and this thing has the mouth, and I'm glad I wore the gloves because it's got a death grip on with its mouth on one of the fingers of the gloves. So I just abandoned the gloves, abandoned the squirrel in the front yard, and he eventually kind of hopped off, and unfortunately I found he did not make it far. Found that he perished in front of the house, kind of on the road in front of the house here. So there's a dead squirrel that now I'll need to deal with when I get back to the house. But yep, she decided to up her game. And in the middle of the day, it was a squirrel hunt inside of my bedroom. Don't know how she did it. My wife said, that's funny. I thought I heard her come in the morning, and I thought she came in and then she passed through or something, and then I didn't hear anything else. But yeah, she did. She brought in a full-on squirrel into the house. So and there's more. She didn't stop there. Well, maybe we'll finish telling that story a little bit later. But for right now, looking at the time here, we need to check in with weather with meteorologist Tim Root. Timmy, how are we looking out there today?
Thursday morning, forecast mostly sunny skies today. The high temperature very close to 90, and the low temperature tonight in the low 60s. Mostly clear skies. Light breezes out there tonight. Friday, mostly sunny around 90. Southwest wind about 10 miles per hour. A little bit cooler for the weekend. Sunny skies. Highs in the mid to upper 80s. Saturday and Sunday. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
I'm Frederick Gray, the host of Radio, most exciting, entertaining, and sometimes informative radio show on earth. Listen to us live on KAHI, the voice of the foothills, every Saturday morning, 9 to noon, here on FM 104.5 and AM 950. You can also find us on KAHI.com and the KAHI app. Remember, that's Radio Law Talk, live, 9 to noon, every Saturday, right here on KAHI, AM and FM, the voice of the foothills.
6 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:06 a.m. We're going to keep it here local. I'm going to finish telling my little story here about the cat, because the squirrel was part one. That was just part one of the day where she said, all right, you don't like a squirrel? I'll show you what else I can do. So take a little bit of a break here. We'll be back with the second half of the Hug Your Cat Day, and I want to do anything but hug the cat right now. Be back right after this.
Visit radio.org. You'll find easy-to-understand, up-to-date information on more than 260 exams and disease descriptions. RadiologyInfo.org also
Hey, one of our little guide dog puppers just walked by. Oh, look at that. Wearing his little jacket.
There's even a section for children called Red Info for Kids. RadiologyInfo.org is free and does not require registration and is available in English and Spanish. Best of all, RadiologyInfo.org is continually reviewed by medical experts to ensure that it's accurate and up to date. Visit RadiologyInfo.org today, produced by the Radiological Society of North America and the American College of Radiology.
Logic and information. That's what I want. So here are 282 facts to put into my 30-second radio commercial.
Well, sir, you're missing a great opportunity. See, radio gets up close and personal. It pushes listeners' emotional hot buttons more than TV or print.
Well, maybe for a product that has some emotionality, but not a straightforward product like mine.
Are you serious?
What's emotional about a cemetery? They're dead, they're buried, they're gone. Bada bing.
Sir,
Bada bing.
we always make an emotional connection to the consumer. Now, here's a spot we did.
Oh, but that is all my facts.
I love my grandma. Right now she's in heaven with the angels.
Hidden Knolls Cemetery knows how painful loss can be, and that's why we're with you, helping through your sorrow.
Turn it off. That commercial will haunt me for months.
See, that's radio, and that's great advertising.
Okay, you win.
Great.
Say, what about my slogan, Hidden Knolls Cemetery, conveniently located 6 feet under Cleveland? Maybe I should rethink
It's
that.
going to be work. Do what radio does best. To learn how to get closer to the consumer, call this station.
9 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:09 a.m. My goodness gracious, those commercials crack me up. Hey, and good morning to you, Newcastle. Currently, it is 60 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 89 degrees. We were listening in a little bit earlier, telling a story about it's Hug Your Cat Day, and saying that I want to do anything but hug my cat day. So yesterday, I was talking about in the show yesterday morning about how our cat's bringing in lizards into the house. It's spring. She's out hunting. She's a good little huntress, she is. And apparently the cat was listening to the show yesterday because she said, hold my beer, and ended up bringing yesterday morning, I guess, at some point yesterday morning, she brought in a squirrel into the house. She's like, all right, I'll do bigger and better. I'll bring a squirrel into the house. So it was yesterday afternoon. It was corralling a squirrel inside of our bedroom and then finally grabbing a hold of it. Poor little guy, wounded squirrel. Took him outside. Spoiler alert, he did not make it. Apparently she did a number on him and he perished just outside of our yard here near the street. So I have a dead squirrel that I saw this morning that I'm going to go ahead and need to take care of. I thought we would set him free, keep the cat away from him, and he would make it. He would make a break for it, but he didn't. And oddly enough, like I haven't even seen a squirrel, and I hesitate even asking or talking about this now because I don't like what is she even going to do today? I'm putting a cover over the pet door so that she's going to either stay out or stay in. We're not gonna deal with this today. So yesterday we thought, okay, fine. She did her thing. She showed us, look, you brought us. And my oldest is like, you know why cats do that, right? Because they think you're terrible hunters and they think you can't survive. So they're bringing this to you. Cat, I appreciate it. Thank you. Don't need it. So up in my office yesterday, later afternoon, coming up towards the evening, and this is now upstairs. And I hear a commotion outside of my office door. And I say, oh, gosh, gracious sakes, what now? So I walk out, and there on the floor, she's got pinned down I don't know if it was a blue jay specifically. Just picture the size of a decent sized bird. It was bluish, so I'm going to say blue jay. And she's got this thing pinned down. It was flapping its wing, and she'd swat it down. And now we've got a full-on bird in the upstairs of the house outside of my office door. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So 1, a squirrel. 2, now we've got a full-size bird in the house that we've got to go ahead and corral. So I don't know if the bird's obviously alive. I don't know how wounded it is. So I go downstairs. I'm like, well, I've already got the gloves here from corralling a squirrel. Let's go ahead and see if we can catch a bird now inside of the house. And at this point, my wife and older son are gone. They're out running errands. So it's just me and my youngest son. He's in the middle of something. So I'm like, well, this is what that dad card is all about, trying to corral whatever wildlife the cat brings in. So I go downstairs trying to figure out a plan of how I'm going to, 1, get the cat away from the bird, and then 2, how I'm going to get the bird captured and get it outside of the house. And as I open the doorway that looks up towards the stairs, here comes the cat with the bird full on in her mouth walking down the stairs. And I thought, oh, all right, we can work together on this. Lacey, you're going to make this good. She has it, and I'm trying to corral her now out the door. And I should have known better. Like, no way she's going to release this. This is my toy. So she brings it down to the bottom of the stairs, drops the bird at the base of the stairs, and now says, there you go, and walks away, but is keeping a distance, keeping an eye on it, saying like, no. I'll make sure that I take care of it in case it starts to flutter away from you. I'll hack it back down. So I grab her, take her into another room, and now the bird's just lying there. And again, now I don't know if she killed it because there was some screaming upstairs before she grabbed it in her mouth and brought it down the stairs. I don't know if the bird's dead or if it's alive, but all right, how am I going to get this thing? So finally got this big old water pitcher that we use to water the plants with, and got it another thing and kind of scooped the bird into the water pitcher, held it over, I'm like, all right, to my youngest son, I'm like, open the doors. And he's opening the doors ahead of me and trying to keep the cat inside so she doesn't see where I'm taking the bird outside. Take the water pitcher out, put it out on the yard, a different part of the yard this time than where the squirrel was, by the way, earlier in the day. And I'm just kind of sitting there waiting behind the pitcher so it can't see me. And I'm like, is the bird dead? Is it going to move? And thank goodness the bird kind of got up. He flapped his wings and flew away to a near tree. I think one of his wings is wounded, but he had enough in him to flap away and get up in the tree and finally get away. And so there's the story of the cat going on hunting yesterday. So it's Hug Your Cat Day. So I guess if we were relying on the cat to provide us food, she's doing a good job. But Lacey, we're good. I don't need any more. Thanks for the heart attack yesterday of random squirrels and birds in the house, but we're good. But hey, there we go. Give your cat a hug today if you want to. But I'm gonna keep her outside. That's what I'm gonna do. Hey, it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, and at this point in the show, we go ahead and turn it over to the Fox Business Report. So let's go ahead and do that now.
Business report. Economic growth has been revised.
I might have gone too long on that.
The first quarter gross domestic product expanded 1.3% pace, down from the initial estimate of 1.6%, and down from 3.4% for the end of last year. The revision is reflecting a slowdown in consumer spending and slower government spending. The job market appears to be holding up. New claims for unemployment benefits were little changed last week. New claims came in at 219,000, up 3,000, but in the range of suggesting companies may be spending more cautiously. That's your Fox Business Report.
Jenny Consola invested in you. Look at me.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at AmericanHumane.com.
Goddesses, Saturday mornings at 8, right here on the Voice of the Foothills. And this is Cindy from the Garden Goddesses. Thanks for being a loyal listener, and please join us every Saturday morning for It is so absolutely so good. Every Saturday morning, right here on the Voice of the Foothills.
16 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:16 a.m. Hey, here's another event for the calendar. It's the Auburn Cruise Night. That's right. We kicked it off on May 10th, and the next one is coming up on June 14th. You can find out more at Auburn Cruise Night. That's NITE.org, AuburnCruiseNight.org. Next one is coming up on June 14th, so check it out. Boys down to the one on May 10th there. It's really great. Oh my gosh, so much fun. We saw the Ford. There was a Ford GT down there, which then after that we watched Ford versus Ferrari. Have you seen that movie? It's a great movie, by the way. Kind of the GT and how Ford built that and put it into Le Mans back in the 60s. A really great movie. So, oh my gosh, so many great classic cars there. So again, the 40th annual Auburn Cruise Night is happening. It's going to be May 10th June 14th is the next one. Then after that, July 12th, August 9th, and September 13th. So get it on the calendar. It's a great time to come out. It's free. Come hang out with the family down there. It's the 40th season of Auburn Cruise Night. Fun night, cool cars, cool people, food, and music. It's all right there. Again, the next one is coming up on June 14th, 5 to 9 p.m. near the clock tower there at 905 Lincoln Way. It's all the way up on Lincoln there here in Auburn, California. Check it out. Back with more after this.
For help, call 781-932-6300 or visit foodaddicts.org.
I knew I had a weight problem. I didn't know I was addicted to food. The FA program gave me a healthy body. I'm free from obsessing about my weight or food.
Call FA 781-932-6300 or visit us on our website at foodaddicts.org.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins.
I'm not a big cook, but I am watching enough of the chop shows on TV. Yeah, so it's pretty damn convenient.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
You don't cook anything.
No, I don't cook it. No, of course.
So you watch some of the Food Network?
I like watching
But it doesn't like, man, I want to eat that now, or I want to learn how to do it. It's not.
No, I mean, I want to eat it, but I don't want to learn how to do it.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins.
Weekdays from 1 to 4 on the Voice of the Foothills, FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
19 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:19 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, your daily dad jokes. That's right, make you laugh, sigh, probably roll your eyes. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com or call me 530-885-3565. Back with your dad jokes at the bottom of the hour. Now back to America's First News.
France's president has joined the head of NATO in pushing for a policy shift that could change the complexion of the war in Ukraine, allowing Kyiv to hit military bases inside Russia with sophisticated long-range weapons.
Cocktails and cinema, we'll do that.
Emmanuel Macron's remarks came a day after NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg urged the alliance's members to lift some of the restrictions on Ukraine's use of Western weapons.
We are working with NATO allies. Many of them are also, of course, EU members. On stepping up the delivery of ammunition, air defense systems. We have seen
Funny cat jokes that are totally awesome.
More air defense systems are urgently needed. The most heavy fighting is now taking place in the Kharkiv region, close to the.
What's a cat's favorite color? Purple. What do you call a tiger that likes pickles? A sourpuss. Why don't cats shop in stores? They prefer cat-a-logs. What's a cat's favorite song? Three Blind Mice. Did you hear about the cat that almost fell off a cliff? It lived to tell the tale. Why don't leopards play hide and go seek? They're always spotted. Mice Krispies. Oh my gosh. All right. That's good. Do we have anybody who's phoning in any dad jokes? Let's see.
The capital today is one of urgency in terms of doing everything they can to defend their country. And I've been impressed by the brave men and women here in Ukraine and the fact that they are committed to fighting for their freedom and doing everything they can to build an economy and to build a free and democratic country. And I'm here because the United States wants to be their partner in doing exactly that. And in addition to talking to them about sanctions, I've been able to talk to them about our economic support and the ways in which we can make sure that the United States and our allies and partners stands with the brave men and women of Ukraine.
You said just yesterday on your tour in Kyiv that an unacceptable amount of weapons components are still getting into Russia. There's a sentiment that sanctions are simply not working. As the Treasury's point man on sanctions, does your trip confirm that?
My trip confirms that we need to do more to make sure that our sanctions continue to stop Russia from being able to get the goods they need to build the things that they want. What we know is that the Kremlin has charged their intelligence services with trying to get around our sanctions, and we are concerned that Russia is getting access to key component parts, particularly from China and other countries, that are allowing them to build these weapons. And what I'm here to do in Kyiv is to talk.
You know when you pick up your phone to do something and you get totally distracted and forget, like, what the heck did I pick this up in the first place?
To do just that.
We'll see if we got any dad
jokes. We need to do it for allies and partners. And that's why I'm heading from here to Germany to give a speech and talk to my German counterparts about the importance of us acting together to stop those components from getting Russia.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky received a second $1 billion promise of military aid from Belgium this week, which upped the ante with a commitment to give Ukraine 30 F-16 fighter jets in the next 4 years.
The agreement on security cooperation and the long-term support that we just signed will provide and expand the assistance that we provide to Ukraine against this brutal aggression of Russia. In this agreement, we focus on what your military needs to defend its population. These F-16 jets will be provided to Ukraine as soon as possible. Our aim is to be able to provide first aircraft before the end of this year, 2024.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has said the use of Western-supplied long-range weapons by Ukraine to hit Russian territory could bring a dangerous escalation of the war. Boeing has said to tell federal regulators to have plans to fix the safety and quality problems that have plagued its aircraft.
What did the nut say when he was chasing the other nut? I'm going to cash you.
Fuselage panel during an Alaska Airlines flight.
My wife told me to pick up 6 cans of Sprite at the grocery store. When I got home, I realized I picked 7 up.
Were missing before the piece blew off.
That's good.
Have also accused the company of taking shortcuts that endanger passengers, according to Boeing dispute. A panel convened by the FAA found shortcomings in the aircraft maker's safety culture. Criminal charges against professional golfer Scottie Scheffler have been dismissed, ending a legal saga that began with images of the world's top being arrested against Scheffler.
Based upon the totality of the evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler. Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding. Based upon the totality of the evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler. Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding, close quote, is corroborated by the evidence.
Did you hear about the cat that ate a bad sausage? It was the worst. Why did the cop arrest the cat? It got caught littering. What kind of cats teach college classes? Professors. What do cats prefer to eat when they go out to dinner? Pasta. Why was the kitten unpopular at school? It had a bad catitude. Did you hear about the cat that made a mistake? It was a total faux pas. Okay.
Scheffler's attorney Steve
That's good.
Reeves blasted the police in a tense exchange with a reporter.
So the statements that Scotty made after the arrest don't seem to fully align with what you're saying right now. He admits that he got impatient and went too far.
No, here's what happened: is he is being interrogated after the most stressful situation of his life, right? And the officer is actually asking him leading questions and trying to get him to agree with them. Okay? And that's why you don't talk to the police, because they are going to try to put words in your mouth.
Try to put words in your mouth.
But that was after he tried his Miranda rights. He didn't
Of
have
course,
to speak.
he didn't have to speak. But again, he asked to talk to the officer. He wanted to explain to him what happened. However, they are trying to get him to confess to something that he didn't do. And the video evidence shows he didn't do it.
Scheffler had been charged with a felony for assaulting a police officer with his vehicle, along with 3 misdemeanors. The arresting officer, Detective Brian Gillis, was outside the gate of Valhalla Golf Course directing traffic after a pedestrian death when he encountered Scheffler. Gillis said in a police report that Scheffler refused to comply and accelerated forward, dragging Gillis to the ground. Gillis said his uniform pants were damaged in the fall and he was taken to the hospital for injuries. He's been disciplined for not activating his body-worn camera during the arrest. Months after the nation's capital bid an emotional farewell to its giant pandas, the National Zoo is expecting a renewed surge in panda mania, with the announcement that 2 more of the 3 black and white icons will be coming to Washington. The zoo announced Wednesday that a fresh deal has been struck with the Chinese government, and a pair of adult pandas would be arriving from China by the end of the year.
It is official. We are welcoming giant pandas back to our nation's capital by the end of this year. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Our new bears are Bao Li and Qing Bao. I know many folks will be excited because, although we'll be excited for everything, but Bao Li is the son of Bao Bao, the grandson of
Bao.
Bingshan and Tian Tian. So the panda's arrival is not just an exciting event, it is proof positive of the success of our giant panda program.
The number of pandas in American zoos has dwindled as loan agreements lapsed during diplomatic tensions between the U.S. and China that remain high. Washington's 3 pandas returned to China last November. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at MacRayTalk. More on the way you've got America's First News.
America's First News.
We'll be right back.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton, like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE.
Placerville, super gonna shout out.
855-SHARE.
Oh, no.
This
Look at the
is an
Pines.
urgent announcement for anyone
Yes,
that's
for-
$10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020. For a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the vet. For years and years, stuck in the endless cycle of minimum payments could take decades. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce
Daily
your
dad
monthly
jokes.
payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020. That's 800-878-6020. 800-878-6020.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, May 30th. It is right smack dab at the bottom of the hour, 7:30 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Lake of the Pines. It is currently 61 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 87 degrees. All right, it is time for your daily dad jokes. That's right, make you laugh, sigh. If I was a betting man, I'd say you're probably going to roll your eyes at some of these. If you want to send me yours like Haley G and Tim H did, you can send me yours to live@KAHI.com, LIVE at KAHI.com. You can also call me 530-885-3565. Here we go, starting off with the inbox. Haley G, here we go. What did the nut say when he was chasing the other nut? I'm going to cash you. That was a good one. I like that one. What did the nut say when he was chasing the other nut? I'm going to cash you. Because it's like cashew, the nut, Adam. Okay, here we go. From Tim H. My wife told me to pick up 6 cans of Sprite at the grocery store. When I got home, I realized I picked 7 up. What? I thought that was fantastic. Let's try that again. My wife told me to pick up six cans of Sprite at the grocery store. When I got home, I like that one. Tim. Go. And because it's Hug Your Cat Day, you know we got to have some cat dad jokes. Why did the cop arrest the cat? It got caught littering. There we go. What kind of cats teach college classes? Professors. There we go. Let me share these with your kids or your grandkids. What do cats prefer to eat when they go out to dinner? Pasta. These are more puns than anything. Did you hear about the cat that made a mistake? It was a total faux pas. Okay. Oh, wow. That got the applause. All right. And those have been your daily dad jokes for this Thursday, May 30th. Again, send me yours live at KAHI.com or call me 530-885-3565. Back with your KAHI weather right after this.
This month, all New Chapter products are 30% off, including New Chapter probiotics. Probiotics provide beneficial bacteria in your gut while eliminating harmful bacteria, which makes for healthy digestion, reducing symptoms like bloating and stomach discomfort, foods today. in Roseville or at Sunrise Natural Foods.
All right, Timmy, you're up.
Sunrise Natural Foods, made with life's best ingredients.
The Thursday morning forecasting mostly sunny skies today. The high temperature very close to 90. And the low temperature tonight in the low 60s, mostly clear skies. Light breezes out there tonight. Friday, mostly sunny around 90. Southwest wind about 10 miles per hour. A little bit cooler for the weekend. Sunny skies, highs in the mid to upper 80s, Saturday and Sunday. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Every day we talk to business owners, large and small, about the headaches they face with workman's compensation. The rates keep going up and those audits are a nightmare. Hi, Vince Harris from Homer Insurance. We tie your payroll and your work comp and mitigate much of the auditing issues. And the savings you'll enjoy will amaze you. Call us today at Homer Insurance, 339-7070, and see how much you can save. That number again, 913-339-7070.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have your KAHI News. We'll also have your Fox Business Report. Tomorrow, Placer County Supervisor Cindy Gustafson is going to call in. We're going to chat a little bit about the rezone program. Also, Mary Jane Pop and I will chat with our normal Friday conversation. We've missed the last couple of ones here, but Mary Jane and I will connect again. Always great to chat with her, find out what's coming up on her show this weekend. Pop Talk in Search of the Truth. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit. All right. Gonna get up for just a bit.
And Israel's military said Wednesday it seized control of a strategic corridor along Gaza's border with Egypt to cut off smuggling tunnels as it tries to destroy the Hamas group in a war now in its 8th month. The capture of the corridor could complicate Israel's relations with Egypt, which has complained about Israel's advance toward its border. Israel says the corridor is awash in tunnels that have funneled weapons and other goods for Hamas, despite a years-long blockade imposed by Israel and Egypt. Israel also deepened its incursion into the southern Gaza city of Rafah, where hundreds of thousands have been seeking shelter from fighting, and where strikes triggered a deadly fire days earlier in a camp for displaced Palestinians, according to witnesses, emergency workers, and hospital officials. The tent camp inferno has drawn widespread international outrage. Secretary of State Antony Blinken.
We have been very clear with Israel on the imperative in this instance, as in other instances, to immediately investigate and determine exactly what happened and why it happened. I think we also see that even limited, focused, targeted attacks designed to deal with terrorists who've killed innocent civilians that are plotting to kill more. Even those kind of operations can have terrible, horrific, unintended consequences. It has to ask whether, and especially in the absence of a plan for the day after in Gaza, further incremental gains against Hamas, but gains that may not be durable in terms of Hamas's defeat in the absence of a plan, how that stacks up against some of the, again, unintended but horrific consequences of military action in a place where the people you're going after are so closely embedded with civilians. We've heard from the Israelis, but again, absent a complete investigation, I can't verify any of this, that small diameter weapons were used in a targeted fashion to go after specific terrorist leaders of Hamas. Again, I can't vouch for that in this moment. We have to see what the investigation shows.
The Israeli military suggested Sunday's blaze in the tent camp may have been caused by secondary explosions, possibly from Palestinian militant weapons. The Biden administration says Israel has not crossed any red lines, even as it's withheld bombs because of mass casualties. White House spokesperson John Kirby would not say what the red lines are.
So how does this not violate the red line that the president laid out? As I said, we don't want a ground operation. We haven't seen that at this point. How many more charred corpses does he have to see before the president considers a change in policy. We don't want to see a single more in this. And I kind of take a little offense at the question. No civilian casualties is the right number of civilian casualties. And this is not something that we've turned a blind eye to, nor has it been something we've ignored or neglected to raise with our Israeli counterparts, including, Ed, this weekend as a result of this particular strike. Now, they're investigating it, so let them investigate it and see what they come up with. But the president doesn't have a personal limit to this?
The president has been very clear and very direct about what our expectations are for Israeli operations in Rafah specifically, but in Gaza writ large. We don't support, we won't support a major ground operation in Rafah. And we've, again, been very different decisions in terms of support. We haven't seen that happen. So, the president has been speaking to on a regular basis. He has been addressing you guys in various fora. Plenty of opportunities to talk to the president, including, I might add, in a press conference last week.
The blaze killed 45 Palestinians, according to Gaza health officials count. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the fire was the result of a, quote, tragic mishap. And the head of the United Nations Agency for Digital Technology is warning that the power of AI is in the hands of few too many. Secretary General Doreen Bogdan-Martin made the comments in Geneva, Switzerland, where the organizers of AI for Good, delegates from all over the world, are discussing how to maximize the benefits of AI.
It's the risks of artificial intelligence that keep us all awake.
Here we go.
So much has been said about governments, in the media, in academic circles, from startups to tech giants, from local governments, all the way to the United Nations, which recently adopted a historic resolution that recognized AI's potential to advance the SDGs.
The organizers of AI for Good are seeking to make the case for artificial intelligence to help resolve some of the world's biggest challenges, such as climate change, disease, and hunger. A Hong Kong court Thursday convicted 14 pro-democracy activists in the city's biggest national security case under a law imposed by Beijing that has often wiped out public dissent. Those found guilty included former lawmakers, and they could face up to life in prison when sentenced later. The two defendants acquitted were former district councilors. They were among 47 democracy advocates who were prosecuted in 2021 for their involvement in an unofficial primary election. Prosecutors had accused them of attempting to paralyze Hong Kong's government and topple the city's leader by securing the legislative majority necessary to indiscriminately veto budgets. McDonald's is fighting back against a viral tweet and media reports that it says it exaggerated its price increases. In a post on the company's website Wednesday, McDonald's president Joe Erlinger said reports suggesting the price of the average Big Mac has doubled since 2019 were false. McDonald's said the average U.S. Big Mac was $4.39 in 2019 and now
Okay. And practicing the news again. Placer County selects Daniel Chatney as CEO. The Placer County Board of Supervisors began last Tuesday's meeting in closed session where it unanimously voted to appoint Daniel Chatney as the new county executive officer. During the closed session report, Placer County Council Karen Schwab confirmed the board's vote authorizes council to negotiate a contract with Chatney. The selection of Chatney follows the retirement of former CEO Jane Christensen, which was effective May 4th. Chatney has been serving as acting CEO since February 27th during Christensen's leave of absence. Chatney joined Placer County in 2019 as the Finance and Budget Operations Manager and holds a bachelor's degree from Sacramento State University and a master's degree in Public Administration from Golden State University. Quote, I want to say on behalf of the Board of Supervisors and myself, congratulations, Daniel, unquote, Schwab said last Tuesday. Reno Air Race is moving to Roswell, New Mexico. This is from Fox 40 News. The Reno Air Racing Association, or RARA, officially announced that Roswell, New Mexico will be the home of the National Championship Air Races, or NCAR, according to a news release from the association on Thursday. Since 2023, the RARA has been considering 6 cities, including Buckeye, Arizona, Thermal, California, Wendover, Utah, Casper, Wyoming, Pueblo, Colorado, and Roswell, New Mexico to relocate the NCAR. With the cross-state move, the NCAR will continue to feature 7 classes of racing along with static displays and military demonstrations, according to the RARA. The RARA the NCAA, the RARA. The NCAR will be held at the Roswell Air Center, which served as a former. The NCAR will be held at the Roswell Air Center, which served as a former Army and Air Force base, and now is one of the largest commercial aviation centers in the Southwest. As the NCAR departs for New Mexico, the 2024 Reno Air Show will be held at the Reno Stead Airport for the 60th year after kicking off in 1964. With more news after this.
I'm ready to come back tomorrow, and if Damon may be here, so I'll be here.
Lopez making the remarks to SNY. Afterward, the Mets began the process of designating Lopez for assignment. They have 7 days to trade away and send him right to the minors if the team claims him on waivers. J.P. Crawford drove in Jonathan Clay sacrifice line the bottom of the 10th inning, giving the Seattle Mariners a 2-1 victory over the Houston Astros.
Placerville, who we're going to shout out this time. 64 degrees.
First 3 games of the 4-game series with their AL West rival. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way. You've got AFN.
All right, here we go.
In 2024, the American Heart Association celebrates
you
100
call with
years
like
of
1
life-saving
minute
service
to
as
go?
the
I can't
first
answer that phone right
nonprofit
now.
Organization focused on heart and brain health. Heart disease still kills more
KAHI Radio.
people
Okay.
each year than all types
Glad I
of
saw that.
combined. But more than half of Americans are unaware of this fact. According to a recent Harris Poll survey conducted for the American Heart Association, however, the majority of heart disease is preventable. New research has improved prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of heart disease and its risk factors.
30 seconds, Adam. 30 seconds.
Have reduced deaths from heart disease by half over the past century.
Well, now it's 20 seconds. I know. We got to go.
While managing their condition and risk factors.
All right.
To learn more about the
We need to
American
get
Heart Association
cocktails and
Century
cinema.
Service and how you can help, visit heart.org/centennial.
We are the entertainment movement that shapes your day. We are your lifeline. We are your companion. We are broadcasters.
Yes, we are. And good Thursday morning to you. Thursday, May 30th, 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:45 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Placerville. Currently, it is 64 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 84 degrees. All right, let's talk about another event for the calendar. That's right, it is Cocktails and Cinema coming up on Saturday, June 8th. That's going to be from 6 to 10 p.m. That's going to be at the Auburn State Theater here in Auburn, 985 Lincoln Way, number 102. It's our neighbors right here at the Auburn State Theater. Glad to be in the State Theater building. It's very, very nice. Hey, Turn Back Time. It's a fundraiser. It's a street party. Come join us for the street party of the year as we relive the best of, you guessed it, a little MJ here, the best of the 80s. This event is filled with fun, food, and friends to help raise the ceiling at the historic Auburn State Theater. Sample tasty treats from local restaurants and cocktails of the decade while DJ Mark spins your favorite songs. If he doesn't play any Michael Jackson, any MJ, I would be very, very disappointed. Spin your favorite songs and hits of the 80s. Enjoy a fun video look back at the best of the decade by Elliot Anders and more. We invite you to swank it up in your favorite 80s styles. You know what that means. That means the Izod, the alligator-collared polo shirts, right? Flip up that collar there. Also, your Princess Di-inspired dresses, pastel suits, sans socks. The 80s had it all. It did have a lot. You can find out more at auburnstatetheater.org/cocktails-cinema. Again, it's auburnstatetheater.org/cocktails-cinema. Again, it's Cocktails and Cinema happening Saturday, June 8th from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Auburn State Theater, 985 Lincoln Way here in Auburn, number 102. Back with your KAHI News right after this.
On all living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. And save big now. The best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Naturewood. You know, the building at the water wheel.
Tell them Brooklyn Open Orion sent you.
And here's your KAHI News for this Thursday, May 30th. I'm Chris Quant. Placer County selects Daniel Chatney as CEO. This is from the Auburn Journal. The Placer County Board of Supervisors began last Tuesday's meeting in closed session, where it unanimously voted to appoint Daniel Chatney as the new county executive officer. During the closed session report, Placer County Council Karen Schwab confirmed the board's vote authorizes council to negotiate a contract with Chatney. The selection of Chatney follows the retirement of former CEO Jane Christensen, which was effective May 4th. Chatney has been serving as acting CEO since February 27th during Christensen's leave of absence. Chatney joined Placer County in 2019 as the Finance and Budget Operations Manager and holds a bachelor's degree from Sacramento State University and a master's degree in Public Administration from Golden State University. Quote, I want to say on behalf of the Board of Supervisors and myself, congratulations, Daniel, unquote, Schwab stated last Tuesday. Reno Air Races moving to Roswell, New Mexico. This is from Fox 40 News. The Reno Air Racing Association, or RARA, officially announced that Roswell, New Mexico will be the home of the National Championship Air Races, or NCAR, according to a news release from the association on Thursday. Since 2023, the RARA has been considering 6 cities, including Buckeye, Arizona, Thermal, California, Wendover, Utah, Casper, Wyoming, Pueblo, Colorado, and Roswell, New Mexico, to relocate the NCAR. With the cross-state move, the NCAR will continue to feature 7 classes of racing, along with static displays and military demonstrations, according to the RARA. The NCAR will be held at the Roswell Air Center, which served as a former Army and Air Force base and is now one of the largest commercial aviation centers in the Southwest. As the NCAR departs for New Mexico, the 2024 Reno Air Show will be held at the Reno Stead Airport for the 60th year after kicking off in 1964. Back with more news after this.
Hey there, KI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the morning and America's First News. Get all the local news, weather, traffic, and local events you can handle, plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. Chris in the morning with Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
I never miss it, and neither should you.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle, or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean your face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Whoever leaves the car always start, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tune in to the KAHI Corral every Saturday at 7 a.m. here on the voice of the foothills.
They did a petting zoo on the top floor of the skyscraper. Wait, they have the windows open because it's an old building. They don't have an air conditioner.
I'm still creeped out because I think animals fell out the window. But
He didn't. Well, Reno did. He was
Wait, what?
on the windowsill. With his head out the window.
Did he come when you
Walked
called
over
him?
very
Oh, no.
slowly, grabbed him, and pulled him back in, and closed the windows.
Listen in to KAHI and the Gang, and you'll never know what you're going to find. Everything from pets in the studio.
Oh, yeah, that's a real thing.
To the advice you've come to count on. So join Connie and a cast of thousands on the KAHI Corral Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. here on 104.5 FM, AM 950, and all over the world at KAHI.com.
Continuing now with your KAHI News from the Morning Brew, here's a stat for you. Feeling lonely? Well, you can take comfort in knowing that you're not alone, according to the Wall Street Journal's recent look at worker loneliness. A recent survey of 10,000 Americans by health insurer Cigna found that 58% of them called themselves lonely compared to 46% in 2018. And it's costing companies $154 billion a year in absenteeism. The rise in feeling isolated comes as the workplace is changing to include less face-to-face time. In-office workers spend almost 25% of their time in virtual meetings and only 8% in real-life meetings per Cushman and Wakefield's data. Meanwhile, 40% of parents with fully remote jobs say they went days without leaving the house in a 2023 survey by Bright Horizons. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. The jury in Donald Trump's hush money case has begun deliberation in the first criminal trial of a former U.S. president. Kentucky prosecutors dropped all charges against golfer Scotty Scheffler, who was arrested on his way to the PGA Championship earlier this month. Quote, obviously, he didn't do anything wrong, unquote, his attorney said. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito rejected calls to recuse himself from the cases related to January 6, 2021 Capitol riot, following news reports of flags associated with the incident flying outside of his homes. He said his wife was the one flying, quote, a wide variety of flags, unquote. Tennis fans say Ticketmaster, already facing the ire of the DOJ and the Swifties, fumbled pre-sales for U.S. Open tickets. Attention iPhone 7 and 7 Plus users, you have until June 3rd to file your claim to a claim to a piece of class action settlement over the phone's audio issues. Payments could be as high as $349 per person. And Washington, D.C. won't be panda-less much longer. The National Zoo announced a deal has been struck to get 2 new giant pandas from China by the end of the year. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is excrement, meaning feces. Well, that was a crappy way to end that. And that is your KAHI News for this Thursday, May 30th. I'm Chris Quant. Back with your 3 headlines and a lie right after this.
Advertise with KAHI Radio, the voice of the foothills, and you'll reach those who matter most, your local customers for your local business. Here's Fred Penny of Penny & Associates to tell you why he uses KAHI Radio.
This is Fred Penny of Penny & Associate Injury Lawyers, and I choose to advertise on AM 950 KAHI Radio because it works.
So call our KAHI sales team at 530-885-5636. That's 530-885-5636 to start your...
That means they can send a salesman to your home that looks like a true technician but knows next to nothing when servicing your heating and air system. His only focus is to sell you a new one. That'll never happen with Big Mountain's 2-for-1 rejuvenation of your heating and air system. With our 2 to 3 hour truly comprehensive 2-part service of both your furnace and your air conditioner with a written guarantee against breakdown, or the service will be free all year long. Total cost $78 or save $500 on a brand new heating and air system plus an additional $500 rebate. Replace your old R22 system. Details at 916-378-6270 or
BigMountainAir.com.
4 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:56 a.m. Good morning to you, Nevada City. Currently 65 degrees where you're at. Looking for a high today of 83 degrees. All right, gang, it is Thursday. That means it is time for 3 headlines and a lie. I'm going to read you 4 headlines. 3 of them are absolutely true. 1 of them is completely made up. We'll see if we can guess these together. I actually read this to my wife earlier this morning when I was getting all this ready, and she guessed it right out of the bat here. So we'll see if you can guess it. Here we go. First headline, French town reels from fortune teller scandal. Second headline, Billie Eilish says doing 3-hour concerts is, quote, literally psychotic. Third headline, weeks after addressing concerns over the safety of her kids' car seats, Paris Hilton has responded to worried moms who pointed out that her son's life jacket was on backwards. And the fourth headline, Is tape preference tied to political beliefs? One study says yes. All right, here we go. Here are those headlines again. First headline: French town reels from fortune teller scandal. Second headline: Billie Eilish says doing 3-hour concerts is, quote, literally psychotic. Oh my gosh, there's a squirrel running outside of the studio right now, and I'm having flashbacks to yesterday when my cat brought a squirrel into the house. If you didn't hear that, I'll recap that here coming up at the top of next hour. All right, number 3, weeks after addressing concerns over the safety of her kids' car seats, Paris Hilton has responded to worried moms who pointed out her son's life jacket was on backwards. And number 4, is tape preference tied to political beliefs? One study says yes. Did you guess? Can you guess which headline is a lie and which ones are true? We'll come back and we'll recap that here in just a little bit. We'll be back right after this.
Police department store, you don't have to battle for a parking space. Parking is very close to the front door, and you don't need a membership.
Good morning. If you're just joining, cheers. Drinking my water.
You need right now for the warmer weather, shorts, t-shirts, Levi's.
Telling stories about cats on National Hug Your Cat Day.
Save money, time, and gas by shopping at McCullough in the Auburn Town Center right off the valley.
1 minute to the top of the hour here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Chris Quant with you here, holding it down in beautiful Studio A. 2 hours down. We got one more to go, gang. If you just missed it, we're doing 3 headlines and a lie. 3 headlines are completely true. One is absolutely made up. We'll pay that off here just after the top of the hour here when we hear the top of the hour ID. Also, don't forget, tomorrow morning, Placer County Supervisor Cindy Gustafson is going to call in. We're going to talk about the rezone program that's going on. Interested to hear her thoughts. She is a familiar voice from the Meddlers meeting that we hear on Tuesdays here on KAHI. Also, Mary Jane Pop and I will chat. We'll have our Friday date again, talk about what's coming up on her show this weekend. Pausing now for station identification. Back after this.
Auburn and AM 950 KAHI Auburn.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, May 30th, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour. It is 8 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Hope you're doing good on this Thursday morning, gang. It's getting warm out there. We'll hear from meteorologist Tim Root here in just a little bit about what our weather is going to look like for today. But spoiler alert, if you haven't busted out the shorts yet, today would probably be a good time to find the shorts and get them out there, and the short sleeve shirts. It's going to be a little bit warmer out there. Not crazy warm, but it's warmer than what we've been used to over these last few months and weeks here. So, yeah, we'll get into that here in just a bit. Now, if you didn't hear last hour, today is Hug Your Cat Day, and I want to do anything but hug my cat here because she did a little thing yesterday where she said, I think she listened to me talking about holding on to basically bringing in lizards into the house, and she said, "Hold my beer, hold my beer." I'll show you what I can do, and ended up bringing not only a squirrel into the house that didn't make it, but also decided to bring in a full-on bird. I think it was a blue jay. I don't really identify birds that well, but yeah, she full-on brought larger things into the house. And so part of our day yesterday was corralling a wounded and, a spoiler alert, eventually dead squirrel outside of the house that got a death grip on the glove. Thank goodness gracious I was wearing the gloves that I wore when I left him outside. Took him out to the yard and he scampered away. But as I found out this morning, he did not make it far. Passed away, unfortunately, in front of the house there near the street. Rest in peace, little squirrel. I'm so sorry. And a bird, a blue jay. We'll just call it a blue jay. It was about the size of that if you picture a blue jay. Fortunately, I was able to capture the bird inside of the house. The cat brought it in and had it in her mouth. I thought it was dead, but I kind of scooped it up into a little water pitcher that we have. Actually, not a little water pitcher. It's a big water pitcher that we use for the plants. And scooped it up and took it outside and just put it on the grass. And eventually the little birdie flew away. And I said, "Fly away, bird. Do your best to stay away from cats. Pro tip, You'll have a longer life. I think he had a wounded wing, but it was enough to fly away. So thankfully, the zoo inside of the Quant household was just that, a zoo yesterday. So lots of good times happening on this Hug Your Cat Day. It's also Hole in My Bucket Day. Hole in My Bucket. Did you know about this? I did not know that. I had never heard of Hole in My Bucket, but apparently it's if you don't get enough attention, that's a hole in your bucket. So I mean, I guess your little love bucket. I discovered in my research here, I guess this was written by Clarence Williams. My bucket's got a hole in it. All I could find was the Hank Williams version. But does your hole have a bucket in it? Do you not getting enough attention today? Do you need a high five, a virtual high five, or a fist bump from somebody? Maybe somebody needs to give you a hug today. Well, I hope you have a great day today. If today is your birthday, happy stinking birthday to you. I hope you don't have a hole in your bucket on your birthday today. I hope you're surrounded by lots of love as you're going into your day today, and enjoy everything that's going on. That is your birthday if it's your birthday today. Hey, you celebrate a birthday with a very famous person. That's enough, Adam. Let's go ahead and bring Hank Williams down there. If you've heard of this cat, I'll give you a little bit of a hint here. One of the most, probably, in my opinion, the most talented voiceover actors of all time. Probably a dead giveaway there. Sounds of my childhood coming through here. Mel Blanc, Mr. Mel Blanc, born on this day in 1908. Happy birthday, Mel. Passed away in 1989, but my goodness gracious, what a talent that guy was, and how many voices he did. Probably still will never know all the voices that he did. But hey, we need to find out what our weather's looking like today with meteorologist Tim Root. Hey, Timmy, how are we looking on our weather today?
High temperature very close to 90, and low temperature tonight in low 60s, mostly clear skies. Light breezes set there tonight. Friday mostly sunny around 90, southwest wind about 10 miles per hour. A little bit cooler for the weekend, sunny skies, highs in the mid to upper 80s, Saturday and Sunday. It's a meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Hi, Judy. How are you? Oh yeah. Oh, I remember you. How are you doing?
Well, I called us to let you know I was going to be stopping by.
Oh, okay.
I thought I would give you
Okay.
her flyer.
Thank you. I've got it written down. I found it on Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like okay. That's her
that's the
email.
one she gave me.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I literally have it. I'm keeping it here as a reminder to give her a call and check it out. So so thank you
I
for
was
that.
just it sounded like something people would like to know about,
I think-
especially people that are new to the area.
Yeah,
And
for
we have
sure.
tons,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really great. So I appreciate that. I know
Sure.
we chatted about it, and I was gonna hit her up on Instagram, but this is way better. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Instagram. I mean,
Yeah,
she'll see it.
She'll see it, but that's
more
probably more
professional.
direct, right? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little bit more professional.
Yeah.
I can put a subject line like I've learned that it says you put in media request, and then people are like, "Oh, a media request. Oh,
Yeah.
we can do that."
I
But-
gotta tell you the story about the squirrel, the bird. Because back in when my husband passed away, you have to get back.
Hang on one. As soon as Dr. Dahlia's here, I'm gonna do a promo here, and then I'll jump right back on. So hang on 1 second. 6 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:06 a.m. Now, coming up technically in our next segment, we'll have your Fox Business Report, which we will get to. But also, I realized I didn't pay off 3 headlines and a lie. So we're going to go to a little bit of a commercial break here. We will pay off the 3 I made you wait all that time, and we actually did not pay off 3 headlines and a lie. So we will do that. Also, a story here, a very interesting story about a change to the Major League all-time records book. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Back with more after this. Okay, Anyway.
So when my husband passed away many years ago, I used to be high. I should preface this by saying I was highly allergic to cats.
Yeah.
I could stand at your front door.
Yeah.
And you have cats, not there, anywhere.
Just anywhere in the house. Yeah.
I mean, terrible reaction.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And so he passed away, and of course I'm keeping to myself a lot.
Sure.
You know, just sad.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And my neighbor down the street had a really black cat named Tarby.
Yeah.
And he would just walk all over the neighborhood and meow, you know, just like he was whining, complaining. We call him the complainer.
Yeah.
But,
very talkative cat.
yes.
Yeah.
But one night, one evening, because it was summertime, I heard him at the front door. Meow, meow.
Yeah.
He's never come to my door whining. And I opened the door and I go, "What is it, Tar Baby?" And he runs in through the foyer, down the hallway to the master bathroom.
Yeah.
And I'd go back there, and here he comes, just, you know, as fine as can be. Long story short, he brought me a gift, because that's what it is quite often.
It's a gift.
It was dead,
Yeah.
thank goodness, but it was a rat,
Mhm.
and he dropped it behind the toilet, the tank. And I went, "Oh, how nice, Darby."
Thank you for that.
Yeah, but you know, they'll do that. They bring you gifts.
It's a gift. That's what my son Jordan said. He said, "Yeah, it's like because they don't think that you're adequate enough, or it's some sort of here's homage to you, dear owner, as something like that." But I'll tell you what, it scared the bejeebers out of me. I thought,
well, if you hear a noise and you see something moving under a blanket,
well,
what the heck is it?
Yeah, I was I was laying down for like a 20-minute nap, and it was just that state where you're like halfway between kind of snoozing and awake.
Yeah.
And we've got a little HomePod speaker in the bedroom there, so I thought, is it staticking? Is it picking up It's never done that before. Yeah. And then so I kind of come to. Like, no, that's scratching. It was scratching on this little leather part of this little furniture that we have, and it's just this lump under the blanket. I was like, "Son of a gun! You've got to be kidding me!" And it was full on, and he was wounded pretty bad. So we literally made a barricade of pillow to try and get him to get him out, and finally just had to reach down, and we got him cornered and kind of picked him up.
You gotta be careful because they can really bite you.
He was. I mean, I had one of those like Home Depot leather gloves, and he just. I was trying to put him down, and it was just hanging on the glove, and I just dropped the glove. And,
very scared.
Very scared.
Was that a baby?
He was a good size. I mean, he was a little brown squirrel. I've not even seen any type of squirrel.
All we have are the big gray bushy-tailed squirrels.
Yeah,
but I do see them in town. I don't know where in town you live, but I see the little smaller brown ones.
We're up in Colfax, so it's so I never even seen a squirrel around. So somehow she found him, and my wife said that she thought she heard her come into the room earlier in the morning, and so I don't know how long that thing had been there, but long enough to crawl up underneath this blanket and get up there. I don't know how he did it.
You could have had yourself a pet. People do have pet squirrels.
He didn't make it. He was, and then a bird, and then in the afternoon I'm upstairs working, and there's a full-on bird there. So.
Yeah, I tell you, Tar Baby, he stayed with me every day and every night. Never bothered my allergies. It's the weirdest thing.
Isn't that interesting?
2 weeks, and then he left. And my neighbor said, "He probably felt your love."
He's like he knew. Yeah. Our cat will do that. She'll when one of us are sick, she'll know. But anyway, I gotta run. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye. 11 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:11 a.m. And shame on me. I forgot to pay off the 3 headlines and a lie. Let's go ahead and do that. I know I'm keeping you on pins and needles here as we talk about 3 headlines and a lie. Here we go. Let's recap it again. We have now French town reels from fortune teller scandal. That's the first headline there. Second one is Billie Eilish says doing 3-hour concerts is, quote, literally psychotic, unquote. Number 3, third headline, weeks after addressing concerns over the safety of her kids' car seats, Paris Hilton has responded to worried moms who pointed out that her son's life jacket was on backwards. And that sounds true to me. And the fourth headline is tape preference tied to political beliefs? One study says yes. So did anybody guess? Back of the classroom over there? Yes, you probably guessed it. Number 4 is the lie. Is tape preference tied to political beliefs? One study says yes. That is completely made up. The other 3 are true. Frenchtown reels from fortune teller scandal. The other one, Billie Eilish says doing 3-hour concerts is literally psychotic. That is also true. And weeks after addressing concerns over the safety of her kids' car seats, Paris Hilton has responded to worried moms who pointed out that her son's life jacket was on backwards. That is an actual real headline as well. The fake one was, is tape preference tied to political beliefs? One study says yes. So that is the and my wife, she guessed that one straight out of the gate there. She said, yeah, no contest there. That is the one that is made up. And you might have guessed that as well. So thanks for playing, as we do on Thursdays. 3 headlines and a lie. Hey, here's an interesting story I came across in the Morning Brew today. The Major League Record Book got a historic update. Nearly 80 years after baseball integrated the record books are going to show it. The MLB announced yesterday it has fully incorporated statistics from the 7 Negro leagues that operated between 1920 and 1948, recognizing the accomplishments of more than 2,300 players previously omitted from the historical records. All-time stats look dramatically different now, with many categories topped by Josh Gibson, who spent his illustrious career with the Homestead Grays. Gibson leads career batting average with .372, relegating Ty Cobb to second with .367. He also leads in slugging percentages and on-base plus slugging, or OPS, ahead of Babe Ruth in both categories. Players who competed in both the Negro Leagues and the MLB, like Willie Mays, will have their stats updated to include their time in the Negro Leagues. Why did it take so long? Well, the MLB didn't officially recognize the Negro Leagues as its equal until 2020. Since then, historians have dug up stats from local newspaper archives, but there's still more to learn. The MLB estimates that it has box scores from about 75% of the Negro League games. And looking ahead, the MLB is set to pay tribute to the Negro Leagues next month in a game between the San Francisco Giants and St. Louis Cardinals at the former home of the Birmingham Black Barons. And so interesting, very interesting updates. Definitely one that needs to happen as the Major League Record books get a historic update. So interesting story there. Hey, at this time, it's the part of the show where we have the Fox Business Report. So let's go ahead and turn it over to the Fox Business Report now. Oh, perfect day for all the cat stories. Yeah, lots of cat stories happening. That was Judy from Applegate.
Kohl's lost money in its recent quarter, and it is cutting its forecast for the year. Kohl's shares dropped 23% at the market open. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jim Kosova, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4
traffic.
million pets
Whoops.
enter shelters here in the United States.
Get ready for this.
My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals await care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at American Humane.
Check out the Garden Goddesses here on the Voice of the Foothills, Saturday mornings at 8 a.m.
All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow.
Saturdays at 8 a.m. here on 104.5 FM and AM 950, streaming all over the world
At KAHI.com. 17 minutes past the top of the hour, taking a look outside at our roadways right now. Actually, for a Wednesday, looking pretty good out there. We've got some slowdowns, 65 southbound as you're coming from Lincoln, slowing down around Blue Oaks, as we would expect. 80 westbound, if you're heading towards Sacramento, actually looking pretty good all the way down to the Cap City split. 80 west over to I-5 looking good. I-5 northbound slowing around a little bit near Airport Boulevard, but okay, other than that, I-5 southbound coming into Sacramento. It's slow. It's traffic right now. Cap City Freeway slowing down as you're coming into Sacramento as well. 50 eastbound and westbound actually looking pretty good right now. Just slowing a little bit near 34th Street if you're coming down there. Going up the hill, going up the mountains, 80 going eastbound, slowing down around Blue Canyon there. We've got some slowdown there and some slowdowns on Donner Pass if you're heading up into the mountains. Some slowdown on Alder Ridge. It looks like it's slowing on 50 if you're heading eastbound up the hill, and Weber Milrose slow down up there. So if you're heading up into the mountains, just give yourself a little bit of extra time. 49 if you're going across the canyon, either to Auburn to Placerville or Placerville over to Auburn. Looking real good right now. It doesn't look like we have any traffic restrictions on Highway 49 through the canyon. Back with more right after this.
Flood shelter. Being from Oklahoma, I know a thing or two about natural disasters. Tornadoes are common where I'm from and have affected my life and the lives of people I care about. No matter where you live, be aware of the dangers in your area. Have a plan. You can create an emergency kit, come up with an evacuation plan, and know where to seek shelter. You never know when a disaster may hit. These simple steps can help save a life. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
18 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:18 a.m. Coming up in our next segment at the bottom of the hour, sports ball. We'll keep you up to date on all the national games, also local sports as well. The Lincoln Potters are kicking off their season as well. Did you know we've got baseball in Lincoln? Well, we do. We'll talk about that. Tomorrow, Placer County Supervisor Cindy Gustafson will call in. We'll talk a little bit about the rezone program, and also Mary Jane and I will have our normal Friday date as well. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here at the bottom of the hour.
The Thursday morning on the 30th day. Join the head of NATO pushing for a policy shift that could change the complexion of the war in Ukraine.
News. I got to edit news.
Hit military bases inside Russia with sophisticated long-range weapons.
And as Sean today.
Partners. Emmanuel Macron's remarks came a day after NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg urged the alliance's members to lift some of the restrictions.
Back after editing the news.
We are working with NATO allies. Many of them are also, of course, EU members. On stepping up the delivery of ammunition, air defense systems. We have seen some progress, but more progress and more air defense systems are urgently needed. The most heavy fighting is now taking place in the Kharkiv region, close to the Ukrainian-Russian border. It will be very hard and difficult for the Ukrainians to defend themselves if they cannot hit military targets just on the other side of the border.
Speaking Wednesday on a visit to Moldova, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken underlined that while Washington has not given the green light to Kyiv for using American weapons in cross-border strikes, it will continue providing Ukraine with the means to effectively defend itself. Western leaders have walked a tightrope while not wanting to expand the war. Meanwhile, Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo told Bloomberg Chinese firms supplying components that can be used by Russia in weapons used to attack Ukraine should face tougher consequences.
The mood in the capital today is one of urgency in terms of doing everything they can to defend their country. And I've been impressed by the brave men and women here in Ukraine and the fact that they are committed to fighting for their freedom and doing everything they can to build an economy and to build a free and democratic country. And I'm here because the United States wants to be their partner in doing exactly that. And in addition to talking to them about sanctions, I've been able to talk to them about our economic support and the ways in which we can make sure that the United States and our allies and partners stands with the brave men and women of Ukraine.
You said just yesterday on your tour in Kyiv that an unacceptable amount of weapons components are still getting into Russia. There's a sentiment that sanctions are simply not working. As the Treasury's point man on sanctions, does your trip confirm that?
My trip confirms that we need to do more to make sure that our sanctions continue to stop Russia from being able to get the goods they need to build the weapons that they want. What we know is that the Kremlin has charged their intelligence services with trying to get around our sanctions, and we are concerned that Russia's getting access to key component parts, particularly from China and other countries that are allowing them to build these weapons. And what I'm here to do in Kyiv is to talk to my counterparts about the tools we're considering to try and go after the ability of the Kremlin to do just that. Fundamentally, we can't do this alone in the United States. We need to do it with our allies and partners, and that's why I'm heading from here to Germany to give a speech and talk to my German counterparts about the importance of us acting together to stop those components from getting to Russia.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky received a second $1 billion promise of military aid from Belgium this week, which upped the ante with a commitment to give Ukraine 30 F-16 fighter jets in the next 4 years.
The agreement on security cooperation and the long-term support that we just signed will provide and expand the assistance that we provide to Ukraine against this brutal aggression of Russia. In this agreement, we focus on what your military needs to defend its population. These F-16 jets will be provided to Ukraine as soon as possible. Our aim is to be able to provide first aircraft before the end of this year, 2024.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has said the use of Western-supplied long-range weapons by Ukraine to hit Russian territory could bring a dangerous escalation of the war. Boeing is said to tell federal regulators today how it plans to fix the safety and quality problems that have plagued its aircraft manufacturing work in recent years, after one of its jetliners suffered a blowout of a fuselage panel during an Alaska Airlines flight in January. Accident investigators determined that bolts helped secure the panel to the frame of the Boeing 737 MAX 9 were missing before the piece blew off. Whistleblowers have also accused the company of taking shortcuts that endanger passengers, a claim that Boeing disputes. A panel convened by the FAA found shortcomings in the aircraft maker's safety culture. Criminal charges against professional golfer Scottie Scheffler have been dismissed, ending a legal saga that began with images of the world's top golfer being arrested and handcuffed in Louisville during the PGA Championship. Jefferson County Attorney Michael Connell asked the judge Wednesday to drop 4 charges against Scheffler.
Based upon the totality of the evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler. Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding. Based upon the totality of the evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler. Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding, close quote, is corroborated by the evidence. The evidence we reviewed supports the conclusion that Detective Gillis was concerned for public safety at the scene when he initiated contact with Mr. Scheffler. However, Mr. Scheffler's actions and the evidence surrounding their exchange during this misunderstanding do not satisfy the elements of any criminal offenses.
The prosecutor said Scheffler's explanation that he had a misunderstanding with police directing traffic was corroborated by evidence. Scheffler's attorney, Steve Ramines, blasted the police in a tense exchange with a reporter.
Now, the statements that Scottie made after the arrest don't seem to fully align with what you're saying right now. He admits that he got impatient and went too far.
No, here's what happened. He is being interrogated after the most stressful situation of his life, right? And the officer is actually asking him leading questions and trying to get him to agree with him, okay? And that's why you don't talk to the police, because they are going to try to put words in your mouth.
But
and that's exactly what they did.
But that was after he read his Miranda rights. He didn't have to speak.
He didn't have to speak. But again, he asked to talk to the officer. He wanted to explain to him what happened. However, they are trying to get him to confess to something that he didn't do. And the video evidence shows he didn't do it.
Scheffler had been charged with a felony for assaulting a police officer with his vehicle, along with 3 misdemeanors. The arresting officer, Detective Brian Gillis, was outside the gate of Valhalla Golf Course directing traffic after a pedestrian death when he encountered Scheffler. Gillis said in a police report that Scheffler refused to comply and accelerated forward, dragging Gillis to the ground. Gillis said his uniform pants were damaged in the fall and he was taken to the hospital for injuries. He's been disciplined for not activating his body-worn camera during the arrest. Months after the nation's capital bid an emotional farewell to its giant pandas, the National Zoo is expecting a renewed surge in panda mania, with the announcement that 2 more of the 3 black and white icons will be coming to Washington. The zoo announced Wednesday that a fresh deal has been struck with the Chinese government, and a pair of adult pandas would be arriving from China by the end of the year.
It is official. We are welcoming giant pandas back to our nation's capital by the end of this year. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Our new bears are Bao Li and Qing Bao. I know many folks will be excited because they'll be excited for everything, but Bao Li is the son of Bao Bao, the grandson of Bei Xiang and Tian Tian. So the panda's arrival is not just an exciting event, but it is proof positive of the success of our giant panda program.
The number of pandas in American zoos has dwindled as loan agreements lapsed during diplomatic tensions between the U.S. and China that remain high. Washington's 3 pandas returned to China last November. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way. You've got America's First News.
America's First News. We'll be right back.
Did you know that healthy arteries make a gas? Yes, actually 3 known gases. Hi, I'm Dr. Mitch, and nitric oxide is a gas that's readily made all day long to keep our arteries open by relaxing the blood vessel walls. By doing this, our circulation is increased, bringing blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every part of your body. Both age and poor diet can lead to a loss of this precious gas, and in turn, blood pressure can go up, energy can go down, and you can get tingling in your hands and feet. Well, our product, Ultimate Nitric Oxide, can easily help fix this lack of nitric oxide. Go to TotalWellness.com. That's TotalWellness.com, where we are helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
In today's troubled world, our USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect you, your family, and our American way of life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve your recognition and support. You can help put vets to work by donating your car, truck, or van to Patriotic Hearts. Your donation will directly support programs to help vets find jobs or even start their own business. Donate today for fast, free pickup of your vehicle, running or not. Operators are standing by to answer questions about making a tax-deductible vehicle donation. Find out how you can make a difference in the life of a United States veteran. Call 800-209-4580 for 24-hour response. Call 800-209-4580. 800-209-4580. That's 800-209-4580.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, May 30th. It is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:30 a.m. And good morning to you, Auburn. Currently, it is 67 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 88 degrees. All right, there's a sports ball music. Let's get right into it. Well, we're starting with the NBA, but there were no games yesterday. The Mavericks versus the Timberwolves will happen today. That is in the Western Conference Finals there, and the winner of that will go on to the NBA Finals. Yeah, we're still in the NBA season, so that's still happening, so we'll see what that looks like tomorrow. Right now, Dallas leads that series. Heading over to the major leagues right now, we have the A's versus the Rays. The A's, well, they lose that one yesterday, 4-3, the Rays on top there. The A's will finish out their series at Tampa Bay. Now, that's going to be here on KAHI. That's going to be an earlier game. East Coast time. It's noon for them, but it's going to be 9:30 for us this morning is the radio start time here on KAHI. And then the game, first pitch will be at 10:10 a.m. this morning. So a.m. baseball. Not sure how I feel about that. It's more of like an afternoon, evening thing. But hey, we'll take it. We'll take any baseball that we can get. So 9:30 this morning, A's are playing. First pitch is at 10:10 a.m. this morning. A's will finish out that series with the Tampa Bay Rays today. San Diego Padres versus the Marlins. Marlins squarely on top there, 9-1. They win that one. Dodgers versus the Mets. Oh. Dodgers win that one 10-3. Giants versus the Phillies. Oh, Phillies on top there, 6-1. Okay, Diamondbacks versus the Rangers. Rangers win that one, 6-1. Cardinals versus the Reds. Cards on top there, 5-3. Pirates versus the Tigers. Does anybody care? All right, Tigers win that one, 8-0. Congrats, Tigers. Hey, going here locally, I've got the Auburn Journal in my hand. Talking about baseball, the Lincoln Potters. The collegiate summer baseball season has officially arrived in Placer County as the Lincoln Potters return to the historic McBean Stadium for their 8th season. This year marks a new era with the Potters joining the Pacific Empire League. The Potters are also under new leadership with former major leaguer Ty Robertson taking over as manager. Robertson didn't have to wait long to pick up his first win as the Potters defeated the Novato Knicks 6-2 on opening night Friday in front of a sold-out crowd. So congratulations to the Lincoln Potters for their win for the W as they start their season. Back with your KAHI weather right after this.
Good morning, along with Matt Ray in America's First News. Get all the local news, weather, traffic, and moments you handle, plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. Chris in the morning. Matt Ray, 6-9 a.m. Here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early.
It's time to live better at CAC Fit at 2514 Bell Road in the Crossroads Shopping Center. Whether your fitness goals are to lose weight, gain weight, functional training, or recovery, they've got you covered with customized training programs, fitness classes, hydro massages, and more. Open 7 days a week with 24/7 access. Stop by CAC Fit at 2514 Bell Road in the Crossroads Shopping Center. Call 530-885-1964 or online at cacfit.com.
33 minutes past the top of the hour. Hey, good morning, Auburn. Currently, again, it is 67 degrees right now, looking for a high of 88 degrees. Later on today, we're going to get, again, a high of 88 degrees. Sun tomorrow, high of 91 tomorrow, 84 on Saturday. Oh, it's saying 100 degrees on Wednesday of next week. If I'm ready for that. Oh, ooh, here we go. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me today as we're wrapping up here. As to be kind, be honest, be yourself, and remember, you can't hate somebody if you're hugging them. Have a great rest of your day. We'll finish out this hour with America's First News and the O'Reilly Report. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning with Placer County Supervisor Cindy Gustafson and Mary Jane Pop. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thursday morning on America's First News continues.
That's how we do that, kids.
The military says Wednesday it seized control of a strategic corridor Egypt to cut off smuggling tunnels as it tries to destroy.
Put the board back in auto.
In a war now in its 8th month. The capture
Turn those things off for now until we do the recording of a time for seniors. This light. And roll up my headphones. How's everybody out there at YouTube land? Everybody doing good today? National Hug Your Cat Day? Want to keep my cat outside day is what I want to do. Oh, but she's bringing in the house. Okay, time to put everything away. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.